Hello everyone, so welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to discuss about the exponential function. First of all, what is an exponential function? When we are writing some number, some numerical number in the form of base and the exponent. For example, I am writing 8 as 2 with the power of 3, right? That's an exponent form only. Because we are going to deal with the key features of exponential function, so we are taking the general function, like say 2 raised to the power x, right? That's a general function because we don't have the input, we don't have any specific value of x, right? So in the key features we are going to discuss about the domain range and about the end behavior that we have and about the asymptotes that we have. The key point of this video is why the exponential function always gives the output as positive, not negative, never zero, and why the exponential function does not have the x asymptote. These are the two key points that we have in our video. So let's start with the video, everyone. Key features of exponential function, right? Before understanding the key features, we should know what is an exponential function. An exponential function is a function. So function is basically we should have the output, which we are taking as y. And what is the input? So a number written in the form of exponent. So if I am writing 2 raised to the power x, this is my exponential function. Means we should have a base and we should have some exponent. So this is my exponential function. So because we are dealing with a general exponential function, so that's why I'm taking the exponent as x and the output as y, right? Now, when we talk about the key features, we know that we are talking about the domain, range, intercepts or asymptotes, and behavior and so on. So before understanding the key feature, we should have the graph for it. Okay. And when we understand the graphing system of any function, either exponential or log, then with the help of the equation only, as we are doing the changes in the equation, we should get to know that without making the graph also, we could understand the key features. But right now we are discussing with the graph only, right? So to make the graph, we should have some x values, and with that x values, we should find some y values, right? So that's my input and that's my output. If I'm taking, so some negative value, positive value, and 0 we have to take. If I'm taking x as -3, so it means this. I can't solve the negative exponent, so I've changed it into positive by reciprocating it, and it will be 1/8 because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, 1/8. And 1/8, when we convert into decimal, it will be 6. Something 2 raised to the power -2 means here 2, which is 4, which is 0.25. At -1, it is 0.5. At 0, it is something raised to the power 0 is always 1. If I'm taking 1, 2 raised to the power 1 is 2. As 2, it's 4, and 3, it's 8. So these are my values. Now let's have a discussion about the graph making. So the vertical line is always my y-axis. So this is my y-axis. This is my negative, right? X and negative x. And this is 0. So -1, in the right side, we have positive number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so and so on. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and so on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, and so on, right? Now, let's have an understanding. Let's put the values first. At -3, it is 0.12. So -3 is here. This is -1. So it's 0.12, very close to 0 only. At -2, it is little above 0.25. At -1, it is 0.5 here. At 0, it is 1. At 1, it is 2. At 2, it is 4. Oh, sorry, 4 is here. And at 3, it is something 8. So above here. So if I will draw the graph here, you will see that this is my graph, right? That's my graph. So if you will see, it's an increasing graph. As I am increasing the value of x, my graph value is increasing towards the right side of the quadrant, towards the right side of the graph. Means it's an increasing, either it's a left or right. The output is my positive value only. So if you will see, what is a domain for this? Domain means what value you can put in the place of x. We know that we can put any value. So it's -infinity to infinity, right? Any value you can put it as real number. It should be a real number. My next thing is range. My range, you have to understand. Range means what could be the output. And you know that the output will never be equal to 0. Exponential function never gives output as 0. It will always be greater than 0. It can't be negative also. It can't be 0 also. not 0, not negative, right? So it's always positive, it means greater than 0. So it could be from 0 to infinity. Now, why I'm taking round bracket with 0? Because 0, I will never get 0. I'll get above 0 always, right? That's the domain and that's the range. Now, when we'll talk about the asymptotes or the intercept, we have two x asymptotes and we have y asymptote or the intercept also. Okay, the other name is intercepts. We know that exponential function will never give the output as 0. So output is not 0 means there is no x-intercept in exponential function. But if we will talk about the y-intercept, I know that y-intercept means x0 and at 0 what is the value? So this is my y-intercept. Okay, this is my y-intercept. Okay, so four things we have discussed: domain, range, asymptotes, x and y, and then we will discuss about end behavior. Okay, end behavior. If I am approaching towards negative infinity of x, means if I'm taking this value of negative x, I'm moving towards negative infinity. My y value is decreasing, 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 decreasing. And at some point, it may be tends to 0. It will never be 0, but it is going towards 0, tends to 0. If I am going towards positive infinity, x is positive, my y will be infinity only because my y value is increasing. Output is increasing. That's why it's in infinity. So these are the key features of an exponential function. So some points you have to remember that exponential function never gives you output 0. It will never give you a negative output. And there is no x asymptote or intercept in the exponential function. This is the parent function that I have taken for the key feature. Next video I will make on a transformative function. Something I will do it with this function only. My general exponential function will be a multiply b raised to the power x minus s plus k. So here there is no k, no add or subtract of some value. There is no h because my x is single. There is no plus or minus of h is also 0. And there is a is 1 here because something is multiplied means 1. And please remember a can't be 0, otherwise the whole value and the whole function will be equals to 0 only. So a can't be 0. Either it is greater than or less than, right? So that's the key feature for the normal parent function exponential part, right?